PDF solution. Today I am going to solve 20 questions from Earth Science, Oceanography, Atmospheric Science and Planetary Sciences. Sorry guys for the late or delay in the video. This month I had many exams, so I hope you understand. Please do subscribe to my channel, like and share the video. So let's start. So the first video is fossils are best preserved in which environment? So the right answer is marine. Why marine? The thing is, for the formation of fossils, for the preservation of fossils, the time period for subsidence of the fossil should be very less. Means if fossils are exposed to the atmosphere for a longer period of time, it decomposes. In the case of marine, it is one thing, it's anoxic and the rate of sedimentation is very high as compared to the continental fluvial and lacustrine deposits. So most of the fossils are generally belong to the marine environment. So the right answer is B. Now what is ionic potential? So basically ionic potential, IP, is ratio of charge divided by its radius, C by R. Okay, moving to the next question. So the right answer for this question is C. Now radioactivity can be determined by use of which of the following? So the right answer is Geiser-Muller counter. So this device is used to determine radioactivity, means radiations like alpha, beta, gamma rays, which is spontaneously disintegrated by radioactive elements. But there is another device called mass spectrometer. It is also used to determine the ratio of daughter to the parent element. Now other option, if we see this seismograph, so basically it is used to measure earthquake waves or seismic waves, we can say P wave, S wave, body waves. Turbimeter is used to measure the turbidity of a water column. Similarly, polarograph is used for polarized lights. So the right answer for this question is Geiser-Muller counter. Now moving to the next question. So the question is, stretching and twisting of elastic body is governed by. So the right answer is Hooke's law. According to Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to strain. If we talk about the other law, so this law, Bode's law tells about the distance from the sun of any planet. So the formula for the Bode's law is 4 plus 3 into 2 ka power n minus 1. Similarly, this Lambert's law is used in like devices of spectrophotometer, sun photometer. Basically, this Lambert's law depends upon the absorption of light by the particle in the medium and the length of the medium. For this question, the right answer is Hooke's law. Moving to the next question. Now, what is radar? So basically, radar is an active sensor. Now what is active sensor? Active sensor is like camera with flash. So it has own source of energy. Like many of the sensor which uses sunlight, these are passive sensors. But those sensor which works on night also, these categorized as active sensor. And radar is a active sensor. These are used in the jets. This is used to find the depth of the various like topography on the earth's surface, and its full form is radio detection and ranging radar, radio detection and ranging, because it uses the radio waves. Okay, so the right answer is active sensor. Now which of the following has no unit? So stress, we know that stress is equal to force by area, right? Stress is a ratio of force per unit area. Okay. Now hydrostatic pressure. Hydrostatic pressure is rho g h. So stress is force per unit area. Hydrostatic pressure is pressure due to the water column, which is equal to rho gh. Now strain. Strain is something which has no unit because it is the ratio of change in length by original length. Now in the numerator and denominator both has same unit, that is in meter. So it has no unit. Fourth one is viscosity. It's a resistant to flow. So it also has a unit. So the right answer is the strain. Now moving to the next question. So what is vernal equinox? So for this we have to know what is equinox first. So equinox is a condition on earth when sunlight is on equator. Okay. So there are two times on the earth when sunlight is directly on the equator. One is called vernal equinox, which is 21 March, and another is autumn equinox, which is in September, 21 September. That is autumn equinox. So these are the position in Earth's orbit when the sunlight is at equator. Again, there is a point when sunlight is in northern hemisphere just above the Tropic of Cancer, and this position is called summer solstice. Similarly, in southern hemisphere, when sunlight is directly above the Tropic of Capricorn, this is called winter solstice, and the date for this is 23rd of December. So the right answer for vernal equinox is 21 March. Now identify the structure. So as we know that these structures is constructed to protect the beach area. So the right answer for this is cryons. So cryons is basically a perpendicular structure made up of rocks, wood, anything that prevents beach erosion. Basically, it stops longshore current. Okay. So the right answer is cryons. Now moving to the another option, seawall. Seawall is a structure which is parallel to coast. So it is wrong. Now gabions are the structure which is again parallel to coast, and it is always in the cage-like structure. And floodgate is used to like prevent from the flood. Like during the high tide we have flood tide. Okay, so to prevent from the flood we use this floodgate. It is again parallel to the coast. So only one thing that is perpendicular to the coast, that is gabions. Now moving to the next question. So value of rigidity modulus in the outer coast is. So we have to know what is the rigidity first. Rigidity is basically a property of a body by virtue of which it maintains its shape. Okay. Now we know that outer core is a liquid, right? And liquid has no shape. Okay. So it keeps changing its shape according to the container, according to the location. So the right answer for this is none of the above, because the rigidity modulus of the outer core is 0. So the right answer is none of the above. Now moving to the next question. So it's a numerical type question and it's very easy, believe me. So the question is, a cubic wooden block of a density 0.8 gram per centimeter cube, when float in the water, have an exposure of 2 centimeter above the water level. The side of the cube is, now we have to find the side. Okay, so it's very easy. So whenever we put anything in the water, what happens? The thing is, at that time there is a force acting on it. That force is called buoyancy force, which is in upward direction. Okay, now this force is equal to the mass of water displaced by the volume of the body. So mass is what? Mass is density into volume, and density of the wooden block is 0.8 into volume. If we assume the sides of the cube is x, so its volume is equal to xq, right? Now this xq into density becomes mass, right? Density into volume is mass, and according to buoyancy, this thing is equal to the volume of the cube which displaces the water, right? Now it is 2 centimeter above the level, so the total volume in this side is x into x minus 2. If you solve this equation, like cut 3 by this 2, if you solve this equation you get x is equal to 10 centimeter. Okay, so the concept here is basically buoyancy. Okay, the upward force, that is buoyant force, which is always equal to the mass and the volume displaced by that body. So the right answer is 10. Okay, now moving to the next question. So the question is, atmosphere of a planet Mars is almost entirely made up of carbon dioxide, but the surface temperature of Mars is less than that of the Earth. Why? So start with the first option, right? Now the CO2 doesn't act as a greenhouse gas in the absence of other gases. Okay, so if we see this option, CO2 doesn't act as a greenhouse gas. So the atmosphere of Mars is very thin. So even if it is full of CO2, it doesn't act as a greenhouse gas, right? Because it's very thin. It can't traps the that much amount of heat which increase the temperature of entire Mars. Now this absence of ozone. Again, since the oxygen is very less, there is no ozone or very little ozone in the atmosphere of this Mars. Again, third option, the absence of volcanic activity. So till now, most of the scientists find that there is a Olympus moon mountain on the Mars, which is a kind of dormant volcano. It's not active volcano. So the correct answer is this thing. Mars has a larger orbit than that of the Earth. The reason is Mars is at the end of the terrestrial planets and its orbit is very very large. So that's why the intensity of sunlight decrease by the time it reaches the Mars. So the right answer is 4. Now, this Milankovitch cycle, one of the most important questions of CSIR. Like it frequently asked in every year. Like so here it asks about the pre-season. So first we have to know what is Milankovitch cycle. So there are 3 rules in the Milankovitch cycle. Okay, first thing is eccentricity. So eccentricity means the orbit of planets always changes from circular to the elliptical shape, and the time period for eccentricity is 10,000 1 lakhs, sorry, 1 lakh year. Second thing is obliquity, that is also called axial tilt. So as we know that the current axial tilt of the earth is 23.5, but over a period of 41,000 years it changes from 21.2 to 24.3 degree. So this is called obliquity or axial tilt. Now third one is precision, and the right answer for this answer is 23,000 years. So what is precision? Basically the axis of the earth is also rotate in a wobble like structure. Suppose this is earth, right, and this is the axis. This axis also rotate in a circular motion, and this is called precision. So the right answer is 23,000 years. Now, most abundant sulfide on the earth. So the right answer is pyrite. Why pyrite? The reason is among these all compounds, pyrite is only one which has iron and sulfide. So this is FeS2, pyrite is FeS2, sulfurite is ZnS, zinc sulfide, galena is PbS, and pyrohotite is Fe2S16. So this is again a iron containing mineral, but it's a rare mineral. The right answer is pyrite. It's the most abundant in earth. Okay, as we all know that altogether iron is in whole earth, not in crust. Iron is maximum. We know that. So the sulfite is the right answer. Pyrite. That is iron pyrite. Now the next question. Orbital tilt of the moon with respect to the orbit of earth in degrees. So we know that earth is tilted 23.5, right? And as we all know that moon has also some tilt, but in books we see that it's in 2D, like both earth and moon are in the same plane. It's a general, like they all the people are confused about this. Either it is at some angle or it is in same plane. We assume from the childhood that both are in the same plane, but the real thing is both are at certain angle, and this angle is equal to 5 degree. Okay, so moving to the next question. Now, how much energy is generated by magnitude 8 earthquake as compared to the magnitude 6? So again, this is one of the confused questions of all time. Like we know that most of the students think that it is a 10 times increase in every increase of value in the Richter scale, but it's not right. So if there is an increase in one scale, the amplitude increased 10 times, not energy. Amplitude is 10 times increased for every increase. But here we talk about energy, and energy 31 times. So here we have two steps more, right? So the first thing is 6 magnitude and next one is 8 magnitude, means 31 into 31. That is equal to 961 times. So remember, energy increased 31 fold or 31 times in every successive Richter scale values, and amplitude increased 10 times in every successive Richter scale values. So the right answer is 961 times. Now next question. Opening and closing of the ocean basin is called. So it's done by Wilson cycle. Okay. Now Tuzo Wilson is the scientist who discovered about this thing, plate tectonics. Here he is. So here he is tells about seafloor spreading, and Dutton is about related to isostasy. So the right answer is Wilson cycle. Now, which of the following is a paramagnetic mineral? So first we have to know what is paramagnetic. Paramagnetic mineral is any mineral which has slight attraction or weaker attraction in the magnetic field. Okay. Now, this all three minerals, water, calcite, and quartz, these all three are diamagnetic minerals. They never attract. Okay, they are they are not conducive for magnetic field. So the right answer is pyrite. It's a paramagnetic mineral, and all these three are diamagnetic mineral. Now, what is ephemeral streams? So, ephemeral streams are those streams which flow after the storm. Okay. Now, if we look last option, flow during the high tide, these streams are called flood streams. Okay. Flow, if we talk about the flow seasonally, it is called intermittent streams. And the first one, flow throughout the year, these streams are called perennial streams. So here the right answer is flow after storms. Now next question. Xerophytes. So xerophytes is basically a bioindicator which shows arid climate, and we know that in arid climate the all the plants get water from unsaturated zone, that is called vadose zone. where purged water is there or intramolecular water is there. So it indicates less abundance of groundwater, whereas pheretophytes shows large abundance of groundwater. So they take water from direct from the aquifer or saturated zone of the water. So these are basically a bioindicator which tells about the groundwater condition over that place. If we talk about the high tolerance of salinity, so these are called halophytes, which shows high temperature, a high tolerance of salinity. So the right answer in this case is less abundance of groundwater. Now last question. Here we have to identify the type of a rainfall. Now from the figure we can see that there are two air masses meets at a common boundary. Now this boundary is called a front. Front is basically a region where two different air masses having different physical property meets. So this type of rainfall is generally occur when the polar cell and a feral cell. We know that the polar cell is a cold, so cold air mass, and a feral cell which is warm, relatively warm as compared to the polar cell. So cold air mass is something which has a high density, right? Due to this high density, it moves downward. Okay, while the warm air has low density, so it rises up and forms a region where rainfall occurs. Now, why rainfall occurs? We know that when a warm air moves over a cold surface, it condenses, it freezes, and forms a cloud. When these clouds are become sufficiently heavy, they start rain, and it forms a frontal precipitation. Okay. Now, if we see another options like conventional rainfall, so conventional rainfall is generally occurs in the equatorial region, cyclonic rainfall just after the cyclones, so during the cyclones, monsoonal rainfall all over the India we have monsoonal kind of rainfall. So that's it. Thank you guys. Please do like, comment, and subscribe my channel. Hope you like it. Bye.